David Jones with Chrysalis Ventures, and I think part of what we're trying to do here at the Techonomy Conference is not deal only in the tech sector, but talk about energy, healthcare, transportation, and part of this was answered from the prior question, but I spend most of my time in healthcare. There's a lot of private information, there's a lot of enormous regulatory pressure, and the total transparency and free flow of information from frontline employees to the outside world, you think about what happened in the surgical suite, things like that, is a, it's a kind of a scary issue. Any comments on how this view of managing applies in those environments?
Can we just call that a comment and get some more voices from the audience? Is that all right? Yeah.
Cameron Sinclair, one question I wanted to ask was about, with an empowered workforce, how do companies change their philanthropic standards? Because usually when you talk about cult of personality, you have the CEO of a company has their vision of how they want their company to give. But, in a digital age, what should BP do when most of their employees are not exactly happy with the way things have gone over the last few months?
So I can start. I think, again, that starts at the top in terms of your culture, your values, your ethos. At LinkedIn, what we've started to do is create a platform environment, leveraging our technology, which not only enables third-party philanthropic organizations to take advantage of that and potentially post projects that they need help with, and for, conversely, our professional members to suggest, here are the skills and here are the projects they'd like to be a part of, but for our own employees to be able to innovate on that platform, and to be able to focus on those philanthropic organizations or causes that mean the most to them. And we're starting to get some early traction with that.
Okay, we're just going to hear two more voices from the audience, then we're going to have to wrap it up. And no, it's not going to be responded to. Identify yourself. Ori.
Yes, hey. I'm Ori, co-founder of Ushahidi and the executive director. It's a crowdsourcing open source software. It's just a comment that I have rather than a question. I think for me, my experience has been how to attract the empowered workforce. We have, and as a woman, African, black woman, I'm particularly interested in how to attract a diverse workforce in the tech sector, which is something that we don't encounter too much. And what's worked for us is being largely virtual. And so, we don't pay that great, but the ability to work for us in your pajamas is a huge selling point for this new generation. And we're also very, very open about what we do, both in our blogs, both internally. And if you look at the kind of people that we're able to attract, just the most amazing, talented, we have a team of people in the US, in 3 countries in Africa.
Which countries?
We have developers in Ghana, Kenya, Malawi. Our biggest team right now is in Kenya.
And you're based in Johannesburg, right?
I live in South Africa. We have a team in Louisville, in Atlanta, in San Francisco.
That's very cool.
And I think just the benefits for us being open and being virtual, and this new phenomenon has been a huge benefit.
Thank you, Ori. Great to have you here, by the way. Back there, we have one more person. That's going to have to be it.
I'm Nelly Kroes, European Commission.
Nelly.
Hi, David. I'm interested in the view of the members of your panel and their experience between the difference of male and female management skills.
So I think that you hit the nail on the head on terms of one of the big challenges we have is managing women workforce managers and making sure that they are as effective, if not more compared to the others, because their styles of management is more aligned with enthuse, encourage, enable, more transparency, more power to the employees, whereas the male managers are not. One of the issues we struggle with, and I don't have an answer to that, is somehow, there is a cult culture, as you say. There is a manager out there who is all-powerful. Even if this is more effective way of doing things, people align more towards those managers who have a cult around them. And we are struggling how to make that happen, how to get the power of woman and the way she manages, which is more aligned with the way we want to manage. How do we make that a more all-pervasive part of HCL culture?
Any quick response to that? Or
Yeah, I would just add, not necessarily specific to the genders, that I think a core part of building the right culture is managing compassionately. And the more perspectives, the more diversity of perspectives we can bring to our executive management team and throughout the organization for that matter, I think the more it enables us to walk a mile in the other person's shoes. And so that's the way I would think.
And Neely, I think we spoke about it last night, and this again may sound trite, but I think fundamentally the problem is we don't have enough women engineers, we don't have enough women in the high-tech sector, and it goes back to the educational system, especially in emerging markets. I don't know about the United States, but that's the problem we should be talking about. How do we get more women into the sciences?
Great. Unfortunately, we got to wrap. Thank you, guys. Really useful, really helpful.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Vineet. Thank you for coming from India for this. Thank you, guys.